Good morning, Floss Tube. It's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. Today is Friday, the 9th of February, and I am here for my 16th Floss Tube video. It's a little cloudy and snowy off and on today. Very, very cold out. I don't know if I'm hoping, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be a little bit quiet today. So I thought I would try and do a video. And I was going to do something a little bit different today because apparently today is mail day. And I have this stack. To open up. So I thought I would open it while I was videoing so you could see. Most of it is not brand new stuff, it's replacement stuff, but you might not have seen it. I don't know. So I thought I would, share that with you. Before I get to the mail though, I had tried to film this before and I was in the middle of a story and the phone rang and it ended up being a very long phone call from a credit card merchant services wanting me to switch my account to them, and by the time I got off the phone I couldn't remember where I was in the story, so I'm having to start over again. Some of you may have seen my post on Instagram regarding Dan and the man versus table saw with man coming out on the raw end of that deal, as you would expect. He did not cut his thumb off. He cut it from the base of the joint on up, kind of kitty corner, and up and around onto the fingernail. So it cut through the fingernail, cut into the bone, so he has what they call an open fracture. He's got 8 gruesome looking stitches, because as you can imagine, a table saw is not a clean cut, so it kind of mangled the flesh a little bit. And he's doing fine. He's still in some pain, and he went to the orthopedic doctor yesterday because apparently that open fracture can be an issue, but they thought it was going to heal up okay. He'll get his stitches out a week from today. He'll have some nerve damage for a while. Hopefully it'll repair itself over time. And he has only himself to blame. That sounds kind of cold, but the man used to be a industrial arts teacher, so he knows the proper safety tools to use to prevent this sort of thing, and he was just lazy. It was 9:30 at night, and he was doing the very last wood cut for the Martha Stewart cabinet that he's been working on. He was cutting the pieces for the bottom side, and should have been using the little wood pusher thing, but instead he was using his hand to push the wood through, and the wood stuck and flipped up, and his hand went forward into the blade. So I was in the family room at the time stitching because I was trying to finish my retreat project. I had told Dan that I was going to finish that Saturday, it come hell or high water, and he had the nerve to look at me and tell me that wasn't going to happen. And I argued with him and said, yes, it was going to happen. And he said, no, not going to happen. You're not going to get that done. And so I was trying my hardest to get it done. I had about, 6 times 20, 24 stitches left, maybe. And I heard him come in from the garage and say something that sounded something like, I cut my thumb on the table saw, which I've heard those words before, and it's been a nick and he's needed a Band-Aid, but there was something in his voice. So I got up and I said, did I did I hear you correctly? Did you cut yourself on the table saw? And he said, yes. And I said, is this going to require a trip to the emergency room? And he said, yes. So I said, okay, let me get myself dressed, and I'm usually pretty calm, cool, and collected in these sort of situations. Blood doesn't really bother me. So I just proceeded to get ready to go, and I should have grabbed my stitching, but he got his hand up and the towels and the blood's running down his arm, so I didn't take the time to grab my stitching, and I don't always carry stitching in the car. I should. But we got in the car and headed to the nearest emergency room, which isn't that far from the house. But as we were driving, in my head, I'm hearing his voice telling me I'm not going to finish my retreat project. And I turned to him and I said, you did this deliberately, didn't you? So I wouldn't finish the stitching on the retreat project. And he just kind of bust out laughing, which was kind of good. It kind of cut the tension a little bit. And of course, I didn't really mean that he did it deliberately, but it just occurred to me that, I wasn't going to get that finished. So anyway, we got to the ER, and it was fairly slow. Surprisingly enough, I thought it would be filled with people with the flu, but it was empty. The waiting room was empty when we got there, but it still seemed to take forever to get anything done. We didn't get home until 1 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, and I thought it was a little weird. The doctor came in and, he shot it full of numbing medicine and got it all numbed up, and then told Dan when he was ready, he could walk over to the sink and wash his hands with the antibacterial soap and then run the thumb under the water for 5 minutes. And that's how they cleaned it. They didn't use any saline or nothing. I mean, Dan did what he was told to do, and then he went and sat back down, and then eventually the doctor came in and stitched it up without no betadine, I don't know. I thought it was weird. But anyway, we got home about 1, and he didn't want to fill they gave him some heavy-duty painkillers, but he didn't want to fill that prescription before we came home, so he just took some ibuprofen and went to bed. But he's doing okay, and he's got it all wrapped up, and it's preventing him from stitching, of course, and buttoning his own pants, and I think he's having to get help at work for some things, but otherwise he's doing well. It could have been so much worse. He could have lost the thumb. So we're just kind of happy that it wasn't worse, and hopefully he will not try and cut corners anymore, because in the end it just doesn't pay. So that's my Dan the Man story for this week. I think I'll go on to shout-outs. I haven't watched a whole lot. I have watched a few. I have found Christine from Stitch All the Things, and she is hilarious. If you haven't watched her, check her out. We seem to like a lot of the same projects, and she's quite amusing the way she can tell a story. And then I watched Nell from Little Yellow House, and she showed off her baby bump, which that girl is all baby, and it's just this cute little basketball sitting right out there. Well, it's a little, maybe beach ball. But it's all right out there in front. She looks so cute. And she had a lot to show in her. She says she's been stitching a lot because she thinks that's her way of nesting. And I watched Lisa from Kindred Stitcher. That's another good video. She showed a lot of nice projects that I have in my stash. And then I watched Farm Girl Michelle. Her puppies are going to their new homes, and she was a little sad about that. I don't know how she let them go. I probably would have had to keep at least one, but she's letting them all go. And then she's not in this last video, but one or two before that, she was showing her project bags that she'd made, and I think I'm going to have to give that a try. I don't typically sew. I can't sew a straight line to save my soul. I've never done a zipper. So I'm gonna take a leap of faith and hope that I can figure that out, because I'd like to make them to sell here in the shop, and I can't afford to buy them already made and then mark them up. Nobody's going to pay that. So yeah, I'll have to hopefully try and figure that out. I've ordered some fabric. I went and bought some at Joann's, and then I ordered some more online. So I have all the supplies now. I just need the time, and I need to finish cleaning the pit of despair. I put a couple hours into that last night and sort of cleaned off the table where the sewing machine sits. At least you can see some table now, which before it was piled up pretty high. So you can see some table. There's still a lot to clear off of it. And my cutting table is still piled high with, I don't even know what's on there at this point. But I made a path to it, so I could get to it, but I don't want to start making another mess until I get it cleaned up. So I'm hoping Dan's going to be gone tonight, so I'm going to work down there for a couple more hours. And then hopefully he'll help me tomorrow after work. And maybe by Sunday, that's asking a lot. Maybe not by Sunday, but maybe soon I can get down there and do some actual attempts at making a project bag. So it's the zipper thing has me the most worried, because I don't know how to put a zipper in, so it'll be a learning experience. Anyway, I don't think I have any market. The Nashville Needlework Market is going to be here in a couple of weeks. Pre-orders are the sneak peeks are starting to come out online. Pre-orders are starting to roll in, so I've got my Excel spreadsheet ready to go, and that seemed to help a lot last year when I did the spreadsheet to kind of figure out how many of everything we needed to get and for whom. We've got a newbie going with us this year because Connie can't, and my original plan was that Connie would go and I'd bring the newbie and get her kind of up to speed, just in case Connie wouldn't be able to go next year or something. And unfortunately, Connie caught the flu and has been pretty sick and used up all of her vacation time. So she's unable to go with us this year. So it'll be me and Doreen, who also almost didn't get to go for the same reason. She had the flu and burned up all of her vacation time. But she's got it worked out. She's going to work remotely on Friday from Nashville, and she should have 2 days of leave saved up by then. So we should be good, barring any other unforeseen things. And then Lori will be coming with us. Hopefully she doesn't get the flu. And so yeah, we're looking forward to it. We always look forward to it. So that's coming up quickly, very quickly. And other than that, things are going well. I have recovered pretty much. Still coughing a little bit, but so is everybody else I know that's been sick. The cough just seems to linger for a while. But the sore throat's gone. The ears are feeling a little less full. So I think I'm pretty much recovered. And well, that's about all I know as far as life events and issues and upcoming things. So shall we get to this? I did open this package just so I didn't have to do it while you were waiting. And this is from, the first package is With Thy Needle and Thread. And like I said, it's nothing, there's nothing new in here, it's just replacements. But you might not have seen them all, so we'll go through it quickly. I'm not gonna take a lot of time with this, but this is Mary Holly Berries. There we go. And this is done on a little three-legged, teeny tiny. It's actually a table, little wooden table, and I have them somewhere in the pit of despair, but I haven't painted them yet. So that's another thing on my list of things to do once I get the pit of despair cleaned up. The Beekeeper Sampler. You gotta love a guy with a big butt, right? I think that's cute. Nice house. Grateful, Thankful, and Blessed. Yeah, another nice house, like that. Spring Delivery. It's a nice rabbit one for spring and Easter, and the colors are pretty on this. It's pumpkin patch, brandy, oatmeal, wood rose, parchment, apple cider wood trail, and endive, along with hazelnut from Classic Colorworks. So that's a cute one. The Sewing Bird, it's an older chart, but it continues to sell well. I have that in my personal stash, but I haven't stitched it yet. Someday. This is Peter and Peep. This has always been one of my favorite Easter ones. Merry Yuletide. Liberty House. I ran out of number 2 of this summer schoolhouse, so replace that. This is one of my favorites. And I've got it all kitted up, and God knows why I haven't ever started it, because I absolutely love this one. It's Manor at Peacock Hill. Love that bird. Love, love, love the bird. Then we have some word plays. March. April. We stitched this one on, I should have grabbed it, but let me go grab it. Just hang on just a minute. Okay, so we stitched it, and I don't know if you're going to be able to tell. It's a pale green Lakeside Linens fabric, and it looks really cute on that color. So just a thought if you're going to stitch this one. May, we don't have this one stitched up as a model. Skipping on to September, Steph and Pam, they're looking for charts for September. This would be a good idea, unless if you don't already have it. Bobbing for Pumpkins, it's another good one. Easter Parade. Again, one of my favorites for Easter. Followed by Easter Peep Parade. And this is stitched on chestnut linen from Weeks. It's a gorgeous color, gorgeous color. I just got some in 40 count, so I may have to stitch that on there. December. We have December as a model in the shop, only we framed it. So it looks good framed as well as in a pillow. And the last one from With Thy Needle is Springtime Social. Gotta love a bunny riding a chicken. You just gotta. This one uses it's one of her earlier works. I don't know if it has 2010. So it's 8 years old, but it uses all DMC. So that's what I got in from With Thy Needle. And I opened this just so I wouldn't have to take time to do it. Let's see what we've got. Barbara Anna, Let It Snow. This one's really cute. You gotta love those scissors. Look at those. I don't know if I can get a... Anyway, those scissors are beautiful. The rest of the chart is really cute too. She has such a whimsical design style. Like you gotta really love it. Those little houses sitting there on the... It's cute. Okay. Let's see. We got some Bowen needles. They are one of my favorite brands. Bowen and Peacemaker. I have a tendency to eat through the finish on needles. Give me a John James needle and 24 hours later the finish is gone. So I don't have that problem with Bowens or Peacemakers. I carry all three in the store, but I personally stitch mostly with Bowens. Got a couple pairs of scissors. I have the Bowen with the red handles. And little teeny tiny silver ones. And then this, I don't know if it's going to show up well on screen or not. They're kind of multicolored, green, black, a little bit of blue. Yeah, you can see that a little bit. They're a little more green colored than what's showing up, at least on my end. Bowen scissors are really nice. They're very, very pointy and they're very sharp. And they're not terribly expensive. So I have a lot of them in my scissor collection. The last thing in this box is DMC. When the I haven't had DMC in the shop until recently. I carried Sullivan's. Because they were less expensive, and I They don't have the sheen that DMC has, but I didn't have any problem with. Some people said they knotted more. Some people said they knot less. I didn't have any problem stitching with them. But I started having issues with the box being marked one number, and you'd open it up and it was the wrong thing in the box, or the die lots were way off. It got to the point where I was done. So when the quilt store, 2 stores down from me, went out of business in, I think it was November, early December, I bought their DMC that they had left. And so I'm slowly filling in the colors that were sold out. So gradually I'm getting that filled, and then the Sullivans, as it sells, I won't replace. I forgot to open this box, so here's my knife. It's gone. My desk is a mess. Absolutely, positively a mess. Grab the scissors here. And I'll try not to cut my thumb off. Although no guarantees, no promises. Who's this from? This is Lakeside Linens. I ordered a whole bunch of fabric from them to replace things that I was running low on. So let's see what we got. Because it was so much, I told her I was really fine with her just waiting and doing a little at a time, so I didn't get hit with a $1,000 fabric bill. So I'll take it out of the bag so you don't have to deal with the glare. This is 46 count Maritime White, which is not going to show up well on here. It is kind of a creamy base, and it has some green, slight green, very subtle modeling. Samplers look beautiful on this color. Absolutely stunning on this. I've used it for several things. So keep that one in mind if you're going to do a sampler and you want a light color and not a darker color. I also have it in 40 count. 32 count tarnished silver. It's kind of a purpley gray. And if you've never worked with Lakeside Linen, so it's beautiful fabric. I know they use the same base as Picture This Plus, but for some reason Picture This Plus feels a little heavier, and theirs tends to have fuzz, and usually Lakeside doesn't have fuzz on it. It's beautiful fabric. So that's that one. And the last 32 count navy bean. And I would say that this is a darker version of Maritime White. I'm going to guess it's the same base color and the same dye. She just maybe darkens it up a little bit. So it's a lightish grayish green color. Pretty neutral. Would look good with everything. So that's what we got from Lakeside. It's going to take me a month of Sundays just to get this all in the computer. hands-on design. I'm gonna guess this is the new, there's the knife. Hi. I'm gonna guess this is the new Chalk on the Farm. Yep, that's what it is. Chalk on the Farm. I love that farm fresh eggs. Love it. I'm gonna have to do that one. And I'll bet you can't touch that slate fabric from Stephanie right now. She's getting ready for market. I have an order in with her too, but she said, oh, I'm busy with market stuff, so it'll be a while before that comes in. This is so cute, that truck with the chickens, the flowers, the trees. It just looks like spring, doesn't it? Let's see, baby spinach, daffodil, rhubarb, shuttergreen, slate, and Victorian pink from Gentle Arts, and then barn door and deep blue sea from Classic Colorworks. And it uses 32 count slate. So, very cute. Let's go closer into that sign. Good job, Kathy and Priscilla, because Priscilla does the chalk part and then Kathy does the cross stitch part, and it's an awesome combination. They do good work. Good work. Satsuma Street. Let's see what we got there. I don't remember what I ordered. She has just released, for wholesale purposes, her Zodiac, Signs of the Zodiac. So I just picked a couple of them that I thought were really cute. So Aries, I thought that mountain goat, ram, I thought he was adorable. So I got that one, and then I did Libra because I liked the scales. The colors are always so pretty on hers. I don't know if you've ever stitched them or are familiar with Satsuma, but pretty little Tokyo. Had a customer request this one. And Sweet Spring. Is that bunny not adorable? Very cute. And who's there? Again, those owls they're just stinking cute. That's it for Satsuma. Looks like I have one last package from Dinky Dyes. And this is a special order for a customer, Egypt's Garden from Chatelaine Designs. Rodney was telling me this week that he started I think he said at least 18 chatelaine designs in his stash. And so he started, I can't remember which one it was, but he's finally started one of them. This is really pretty. Very pretty. Long Dog Sampler has a new chart out called The Wishing Tree, which is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Looks like it's DMC or Gentle Arts threads, whichever you prefer. I haven't looked at it. Close your eyes, now make a wish. That's what it says on there. Very pretty. Red grape, Highland heather, ginger snap, gold leaf, grape leaf, tropical ocean, tarnished gold, sable, Grecian gold, corn husk, lavender potpourri, liberty, slate, and cast iron skillet. So beautiful colors. Her pictures never do them justice, though, ever. So that's the wishing tree. And then Shannon Christine released a couple for retail shops to purchase. Midnight Sale. I thought was pretty. And Paisley Owl. Look how cute that is. That would be fun. That would be fun. Looks like there's a couple Krennics, and the rest are DMC. This one, again, there's a Krennic, and the rest are DMC. So, and then I picked up, because I was out of it, Liberty and Justice for All. Another beautiful sampler. This one is by Tempting Tangles, though. And that is the end of show and tell. Mail is open. I've got to get it in the computer and priced. If any of you want to come and help me do that, I'd appreciate the assist. Because it's kind of time consuming to do that. I did earlier this week receive the next design in the Loose Feathers series, Pleasure of the Fleeting Year. It's number 6 in the For the Birds series. I'm anxious to see what they come out with for market releases this year. They don't typically, that I'm aware of, give sneak peeks. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And that's about it. That's all I got. I hope you all are staying healthy and getting lots of stitching done. Not so much on my end, but I do have, like I said, the stitching on the retreat project finished, and I'm waiting for a little extra thing to go with it to get made before I decide if I'm truly done with it. I may add some beads. I haven't decided. But we're getting good progress done on retreat projects. I've got fobs to make yet, and I know what I'm doing for the Orc container. It's just a question of getting them done, and that's what's going on around here. Hopefully you're all okay, getting lots of stitching done. Let your LNS know if you need anything from market. I know they appreciate knowing ahead of time what people are interested in, so give your LNS a call or stop in and let them know. There are sneak peeks out on the, I know Stitches and Things has a good sneak peek. Who else? Strawberry Sampler. ABC Stitch Therapy sometimes has a sneak peek. I've got one on my Facebook page and the website, if you go to the website. And I know there's a ton more shops that are doing sneak peeks, so check them out. Let your LNS know what you want, because it does help us to know ahead of time what people are interested in. So far, I've only seen one thing that I think I have to have. If you haven't seen it, Blackberry Lane Designs showed 2 releases for market. One of them is a little elf ornament. He is so stinking cute. You're going to want him. Her stitches are kind of intense. She uses a ton of colors, but that's what makes them so awesome. So check it out. But I think so far that's going to be on my list. I like to see the samplers in person before I decide whether I like them or not. And yeah. Yep. Well, I see the UPS man has just pulled up, so I wonder what he's going to bring. Anyway, I let you go before he comes through the door, and take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.